What's going on, guys? Jason here, back to my channel, and sorry didn't make a video for the other night and stuff, and I was way too tired and I couldn't open my eyes, so I just did it so tonight and stuff. So I was gonna plan on doing it the night, because you always know when I make money at Raws on Tuesday morning and stuff. So anyways, yeah, I couldn't. I was so super tired, so sorry about that, and anyways, let's just get to it, and here we go. All right, the familiar sounds of Seth freaking Rollins theme hits, and out comes the WWE World Heavy Champion to kick off this week's show. He looks emotional, even with giant sunglasses on. Get ready, fans. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion takes his glasses off, and the fans break out in "Thank you, Seth" chants before he begins. He finally does begin and talks about how he defended his title against Jinder Mahal and heard his knee snap. Rollins said he could tell instantly that he might be out for a long time. He then had to come to the realization that he might be forced to miss WrestleMania. Fans chant, "No, no." Damn. He says he appreciates that, but he still had an MRI to get. He said he got results and they told him he has a grade 2 tear of his MCL, a partially torn metal meniscus as well. And with surgery, he's looking at 3 to 4 months on the sidelines. He says if it were up to him, he'd be back in the ring next week, stopping heads. And he says, unfortunately, it's not up to him. He says we don't really know what the future holds, so I'm taking it day by day and week by week. All right. So before he can continue, the Imperium theme hits, and out comes the WWE Intercontinental Champion, accompanied by Louis Kaiser and the returning Giovanni Vinci. Gunther looks down at the knee brace on Seth Rollins after stepping into the ring. Rollins breaks the ice and says, "If they're out here to attack him, just do it and get it over with." Gunther says they got a match against New Day. He should be worried about him. He says Rollins has been avoiding him and he felt the need to come out and tell him what he thinks of him. Gunther then goes on to talk about how he was labeled a workhorse, but then he goes on to threaten him a bit. Rollins says he should have let him finish. Rollins says he doesn't give a damn what doctors say, and he will take this title into WrestleMania, and he will do every single thing in his power to walk out of WrestleMania as a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther says he's gonna win the Royal Rumble on Sunday, which means, which is Saturday. He meant Saturday, and then choose him as his opponent for WrestleMania. He says he's going to target Rollins' knee and back and beat him to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Rollins appreciates that and tells him to remember who he's coming after. Gunther says he better remember who's coming after him. They shake hands. Alright, as Gunther goes to walk off with Imperium, New Day run out and attack Kaiser and Vinci. We head to a break. When we return from the break, we see the match in progress. Imperium takes the early offensive lead, and they focus their attack on the dome of Kingston, trying to further injure him. We head into another mid-match commercial break after Kaiser pounds the crap out of Kingston with a concussive elbow and forearm blows in the corner. When we return, we see more of the same on Woods, this time until Kingston finally gets the hot tag and starts to fire up on a fence as the crowd comes to life. Now all four men end up brawling in wild fashion on the floor. Woods and Vinci on one side and Kingston and Kaiser on the other. As they continue to duke it out at ringside, they ignore the referee's commands and eventually the ref counts them both out. They continue to brawl into the crowd afterwards. The post-match brawl lasts nearly as long as the match and culminates with Woods going savage mode on Kaiser and putting him up on some production raise levels in the crowd. He goes to throw him off, but Vinci comes over and the two double team him. They go for a double suplex, but Kingston makes the save and puts the two through the table below. So yeah, nobody won the first match, so it was a double count out. Alright, it's WWE 2K14 season. The badass commercial for the new WWE 2K24 video game airs, and the commentators focus on Cody Rhodes being on the cover of the regular version, and Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair being on the cover of the special edition. They remind us Cody Rhodes and CM Punk go face to face tonight, and we head to a commercial. So yeah, the trailer was so badass, man. I liked it. All right, we shoot to the Judgment Day clubhouse, where Rhea Ripley walks up and tells Damien Priest that she had just came from Adam Pearce's office, and he told her that Priest and Finn Balor would be defending their tag titles next week against DIY. Priest and Ripley bicker, and Priest walks off. Left to themselves, Ripley deals with more issues and tells Balor he is to go out for JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. When Dom is in action later tonight, Priest will handle Drew McIntyre by himself. Alright, the second match was Ivy Nile versus Valhalla. From there, we head to the interview zone where Ivy talks about her match against Barefoot Free Valhalla. Tonight, up walks with the Creed brothers to hype her up. Some more, and off they go. Maxine Dupree accompanies Ivy now as she heads to the ring, and we head to a break. We return from the break. We see Nida Strauss sitting ringside in the crowd. Valhalla makes her way out, accompanied by Ivar, and she settles in the ring for this one-on-one showdown. The bell sounds, and we see Valhalla take it to Nile early on via the ringside area. After they re-enter the ring, Nile starts to fight back into competitive form. The two head to the top rope as Wayback Michael Baker about feet on commentary. Nile ends up hitting a top rope high spot and following up with the cover for the pinfall victory. So Ivy won the match, or Evie, whatever. So yeah, Jackie Raymond approaches the New Day backstage after main event. Jey Uso stops by to hype them up. After their violent actions earlier tonight, they talked to Raymond about people being confused because of their friendly ways, that there aren't former 12 tag team champs and badasses. Kofi challenges Gunther for an Intercontinental title showdown next week. The New Day walks off. Uso turns and says yeet, and we head to another commercial break. Alright, Nia Jax comes out and okay, whatever. Anyways, Nia Jax comes to the ring when we return, and she babbles about how dominant the is and yada 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 until Becky Lynch's theme hits. The man comes out and gloats about how much everyone backstage dislikes Nia Jax. Yeah, some people don't like, real life, some wrestlers don't like Nia Jax. Likely because she injured half of them, which is true, because she does it for real. As they continue to talk, they bring up the Royal Rumble, which continues the damage control theme to hit, and Bayley to come out. She tells them they're both gonna lose at the Rumble. She yells at one fan to shut up. She walks into the ring. Bayley says she's gonna win the Royal Rumble, and she's gonna be the one to pointing to the WrestleMania sign. Bayley goes after Lynch, but then Jax takes her out. Lynch fights back and starts drilling Jax. She turns and takes out Bayley with a manhandle slam. Jax fights back and throws Lynch out before dropping a leg on Bayley. Alright, third match, Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz. We return to a lengthy Royal Rumble Statics video package. After it wraps up, Dominic makes his way out, accompanied by JD McDonough and Finn Balor for our next match of the evening. As he heads into the square circle, we shift gears and head into a quick pre-commercial break. As we settle back in from the break, we see Becky Lynch walking backstage when Rhea Ripley walks past and makes a quick remark about WrestleMania back in the arena. We see Balor and McDonough giving Dom Dom advice in the ring. The Miz's theme hits, and out he comes as an earlier today's segment airs with he and R-Truth. The bell sounds from there, and we're officially off and running with this one. Fans immediately chant, "We want truth, we want truth." Dom takes an early lead on Miz, throwing him out to the floor and hitting a big diving splash onto him at ringside. Miz starts to fight back, but after some cheap heat antiques from McDonough and Balor at ringside, we see Dom Dom pull back into the offensive lead. He glows on the ropes to the fans as Miz is laid out on the floor. And on that note, we head into a mid-match commercial break. As the action continues, when we return, we see Miz fire up against only two more heel heat antiques from Balor and McDonough, leading to Dom getting the win. After the match, Balor continues to show his vicious side, like Ripley asked him to do earlier. DIY, #DIY run out, and the duo and the Miz beat down Balor and McDonough to run the mob. So Dominic won the match. Can't stand him. Alright, Jackie Redmond, backstage, Jackie Redmond is with Damian Priest. She brings up his main event against Drew McIntyre when R-Truth walks in with a stack of cash. Priest cut from the Tom and Nick, not Dominic, t-shirt sells. Priest tells him it's not the right time. Truth says, "Some other time?" Priest says, "Yes." Truth walks off. Priest vows to punish McIntyre tonight. Alright, fourth match. Chad Gable versus Ivar inside the arena. The Alpha Academy theme hits, and out comes Chad Gable to a nice pop from the New Orleans crowd, and he settles inside the ring. For our next match of the evening against one half of the Viking Raiders. That match is up next. We head to a pre-match commercial break. On that note, when we return, Big Bronson Reed is featured in a straight to the camera backstage promo segment where he calls out main event Jey Uso for a singles match showdown on next week's post Royal Rumble episode of Monday Night Raw from Tampa, Florida. Back in the arena, the Viking Raiders theme hits, and out comes Ivar. The bell sounds, and this one gets underway. Ivar jumps into an early lead and nearly finishes Gable. Almost immediately, the Alpha Academy leader hangs on as we head into a mid-match commercial break. As we settle back in from the break, we see Gable fight back into competitive form. He locks Ivar in an ankle lock and hits a big German suplex before hitting a second big one after counting top rope spot. Unfortunately for Gable, we see Valhalla get involved, leading to Ivar stealing the win. So yeah, the winner's Ivar. Alright, we get to CM Punk, Cody Rhodes go face to face with each other. So here we go. This is a good one. We see footage of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes walking the hallways backstage as the best in the world and the American Nightmare go face to face. When we return on that note, we head into another quick commercial break. When we return from the break, we hear the familiar sounds of Cody Rhodes' theme music, and out comes the American Nightmare to a big pop. He sells in the ring with his trademark smile on his face, but before he can say a word, CM Punk theme hits. Out comes the best in the world to an equally loud, for not louder pop. He makes his way out and heads down to the ring. Excuse me, guys, about this. And for his advantage of advertise and personally requested face to face to showdown with Cody with Rhodes. Punk poses for the fans on the turnbuckles and then hops down and shakes hands before his music wraps up. The two milk the moment, and then loud CM Punk chants break out. They settle down and like Cody chants spread, but Punk said he wants to take a minute and soak up the moment. He says they had different paths again here, and after Sunday, everything changes to let's join this moment. They both do exactly that, looking around like Hulk Hogan and The Rock at both sides of the crowd. Cody then begins, so no, um, Nola, more specifically CM Punk, what do you want to talk about? Punk says, your father. He tells a story about Dusty Rhodes calling him in 2007 to tell him to keep an eye on his youngest kid, Cody, who was going to become a pro wrestler. He says he wasn't sure if he was the guy, but says Dusty is a guy that if he asks you a favor, you say yes. He says Cody handled himself just fine all alone. He he said he watched him start from primary guy and become a main event superstar today. Punk says he is proud of Cody. He brings this up because on Saturday he feels like he's breaking a promise. He says in the Royal Rumble when the bell rings, if they cross paths, he's not gonna be looking out for him like Dusty asked. He'll be looking for him. Punk says he'll punch him in the face and throw him over the top rope, over top, because CM Punk is gonna win Royal Rumble and he's gonna go on to main event WrestleMania. Cody tells Punk he's not alone in that feeling. Punk asks him, "What about Sunday morning?" He says he can separate business from personal. He gets in Cody's face like Joanna champion from the UFC and asks, "Can you?" He says Cody grew up in this company. Personal and business to him is the same thing. This business is his personal life. He says that they had different paths because he didn't have a famous dad. He says he clawed on his own and got to where he got. He says when Cody came in 2007, he didn't see Dusty's son. He saw a peer. He says his dad was an electrician. He says he was a regular man. He calls it ironic because it makes him more of the American dream than he is. Cody says, okay, American dream. Here's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the pipe bomb. Punk pulls the WWE logo off the mic and shrugs his shoulder. Cody brings up Punk's original pipe bomb and mentions how people got into the business because of it. He says, count me as someone who was inspired. He says, but then Punk left. He didn't pass the torch on the way out. Dropped it. He says he doesn't think he cared who picked it up, but he thinks he knows who did. He says he did. He says everything Punk said. He literally did. He says where he talked, I walked, and if you want to talk about ironic, then that makes me more CM Punk than you. Punk takes his jacket off and says it's getting hot in here while wearing his hell froze over shirt. He mentions how Cody carried the company on his back for 2 years, and just as he turned the corner, he got the cover of WWE 2K24 is about to finish his story. But then right when he's about to cross the finish line, here comes CM Punk to take it all. Cody says, and there you are. There's CM Punk who cares about himself. Cody says he may be right, but he's only got one direction he can go. That's forward. He says in the Royal Rumble, that direction goes through you. He goes to walk off. But Punk drops his mic and grabs his arm and turns him towards him. The two intensely go nose to nose to stay. There as the crowd goes wild in the background. They hold for a good moment, and then each back off slowly and quietly. Very big moment to feel this. So yeah, that was good. All right. Rhodes walks off the ramp as his theme plays. Punk heads over and leans in Brad's here on commentary and says he's going to win the Royal Rumble and tells the fans to put their money on him. He walks off as Michael Cole moves on to introduce a video package. looking back at the birth of Hulkamania, which includes Hulk Hogan teasing himself for the men's Royal Rumble match. We then head into another commercial break. Alright, Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler, blah blah. Okay, the team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark make their way down to the ring for our next match of the evening. Out next are Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, the undisputed WWE Women's Tag Champions. Kaden, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance come out to watch this one open up. This one up and close and personal. Alright, the bell sounds and we're officially off and running with this one. We see the heel duo jump into the early offensive lead. We head into a mid-match commercial break. On that note, when we return, we see Carter and Chance watching on at ringside as LeRae and Hartwell fight back into the lead. Backstage, we see the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven watching on Stark tags and hits our Z 360 finisher for the pinfall victory. The commentators hyped the duo as the next potential challengers for Carter Chance, and the champs get in the ring and stand across from them about after the bout from behind the Kabuki Warriors after the champs and leave them laying. So yeah, Shane Baszler and Zoe Stark won the match. Alright, main event is Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. There you go. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Drew McIntyre. She brings up the main event against Damian Priest tonight, and then as if he's got any comments on the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes segment. Earlier, he says he doesn't. He said what he had to say to both of their faces. He then delivers a message to Priest ahead of their showdown tonight. After the pre-match backstage interview wraps up, we head to another commercial break. When we return, we see Adam Pearce bickering fest between Damage Control and Natalya, Tegan Nox, and other Raw stars. Jinder Mahal and this Sheer then approach Pearce and set up a meeting in his office. Back inside the arena, we hear Michael and Wade Barrett set up our second Royal Rumble status. A look at the numbers video package, looking at the victory of the trademark WWE gimmick match. After it wraps up, we hear Cole and Barrett run down the update lineup for Saturday Premium Live event in St. Petersburg, Florida. From there, we return inside the building where Judgment Day theme hits. Out comes Senior Money in the Bank and one half of the undisputed WWE World Tag Team Champions by himself for our final match of the evening. Damian Priest heads to the ring for his showdown against Drew McIntyre as we head to a quick pre-match commercial break. When we return, the commentary duo of Cole and Barrett run down the updated lineup for next week's post-Royal Rumble episode of Monday Night Raw from Tampa, Florida. And then we hear the familiar sounds of the theme music of Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior heads to the ring for our main event. The bell sounds off. Where we go. Early on, we see back and forth action, but then McIntyre takes over and starts to dominate. The action spills out to the floor, where Priest connects with the Falcon Arrow on McIntyre on the commentary desk. The fans chant one more time as we head into a mid-match commercial break, our final advertising timeout of the evening. As we settle back in front our final commercial break of the show, we see McIntyre and Priest trading big shots back and forth in the middle of the ring. McIntyre decks Priest, but is slow to keep up, favoring his knee. He continues to clothesline Priest to the mat as he fires back up on offense. He hits a big overhead suplex and then a neck breaker. Priest fights back and hits a big end of days for a close near fall of his own. McIntyre hits a Glasgow kiss to fight back into competitive form. He goes to the top rope but misses as he leaps off. Priest hits a broken arrow for a close near fall. Priest launches himself into McIntyre to take both guys over the top and out to the floor. We see Priest roll McIntyre back into the ring as Priest goes to roll in after him. R-Truth stops him to give him his money. Priest shows Truth and heads in the ring as Truth says, "Oh, you want your briefcase, right?" McIntyre hits a featured shock DDT on Priest. McIntyre backs up for a Claymore, but is distracted by Truth on the apron. He decks Truth and money flies everywhere. McIntyre hits South of Heaven, uh, but he goes for a pin. The ref is Wait, what? They mean Priest goes for South of Heaven, I guess. He goes for a pin, and the ref is distracted by Truth picking up all the money. Priest throws Truth out to the floor and then turns into a Claymore kick from McIntyre, who gets the win. That's how this week's show. Yeah. So yeah, Drew McIntyre won the match. So yeah, it was a good show. So, but the good thing was Cody Rhodes and CM Punk face to face with each other. That was a good one. I liked it, that one and stuff. So anyways, man, my glasses are doing that thing. So anyways, it was good and stuff, and so yeah, that was it. And yeah, good, not too bad of a show, but can't wait to see what happens. So anyway, sorry I didn't make a video, because I was so super tired and stuff, and I couldn't open my eyes at all. So anyways, so yeah, if I'm gonna get this video and stuff. So I'll see you all way after AEW Dynamite is over. Do that review. So anyways, and I'll talk to you all. See you all in the next video. Laters.